The One Academy is the heart of our company. Cryptocurrency is not an easy product. It's a very innovative product based on technology and based on very, very complex concepts. For us to be part of this financial revolution, to be part of cryptocurrency and of a community, we need to understand exactly what we do and what we talk about. And this is why we have the One Academy. The One Academy provides you with concepts, provides you with explanation on cryptocurrency and on the financial world. I would encourage everybody to join the courses, to do the certificates, and to understand thoroughly how to use cryptocurrency, what cryptocurrency is, and how we can change the world by using cryptocurrency. One Academy. Learn today, lead tomorrow.
Blessed good morning and good day to everyone from the Caribbean and around the rest of the world. Thank you for being on the call. My name is Maureen Brown and I'm from Barbados. I am your host today. Just a reminder, as Dr. Ruja just said, why we are here. We are learning today so we can lead tomorrow. What is One Academy? One Academy is an innovative e-learning platform covering a broad range of financial topics, including trading, the stock exchange, cryptocurrency, financial analysis, asset management, and more. Our mission is to provide our students with the guidance and educational materials they need to achieve financial literacy. One Academy was developed by finance experts and academics. It is highly structured and easy to understand. You learn at your own pace and can be part of the future of global finance. Our intention is to give you a unique sense of understanding of straightforward facts that you can use immediately to enhance your daily lives as well as promote our core product, One Academy. Remember, it's an interactive session, so please put your questions and comments in the chat box. Also, we will allow 1 or 2 contributions at the end of the discussion unless otherwise stated. I encourage you to take copious notes to assist you in your quest to become certified, knowledgeable, and wise investors. Mr. Pereira, are you ready for us? Because we are ready for you. The call is over to you.
Yes, Ms. Maureen Brown, thank you so much. And of course, welcome to all One Academites, wherever you are in the region and of course, further afield. It is, of course, would you believe, it's already the 24th of May. Boy, the month is already coming to a close. Today, we're going to continue with a lot of information that was shared yesterday. I know for some people, it may have been very heavy on the digestive system, but it is necessary as it relates to your personal growth and development. Change, One Academites, is never really an easy thing, but it is necessary in the evolution of our own self. We spoke a lot yesterday about confessions from an economic hitman. We need to understand that the world is not a level playing field as we think it is. We think that many countries would have gotten in that particular way or some level of corruption on their own, and absolutely that's not the case. And in order to really explore how deep this rabbit hole goes, it was absolutely necessary for that video to be shown so that you will begin the process. I would strongly advise you to get the book, Confessions from an Economic Hitman, because it is absolutely necessary as it relates to your personal edification and growth. So there is a newer version. It's called the New Confessions, excuse me, of an Economic Hitman. And I would strongly advise you to get it. Yes, there is an audio version of it, but I believe you should get the hard copy and keep it and add it to your library. Because I believe in a not too distant future, a lot of this information will not be available in print media anymore. So it's very important that you acquire this information. Another important movie that I want you to take a look at, and actually I was in fact looking at it this morning, is a movie called Thrive. And Thrive is a very interesting movie. It's a 2-hour and 12-minute video movie. This has been out for a couple of years, and it really highlights where we need to be. We are, in fact, one of the most selfish species on this planet. Yes, you heard it correctly. Mankind has exploited as a parasite everything and all resources from this planet. And we only keep taking, but we never give back. It's all about what? It's all about money, it's all about power, and it's all about control. And we need to change that. We need to look within ourselves and understand that what is it that I'm actually doing in my life right now? Really, what is it? What is it that I'm actually doing that is adding value in the greater scheme of things? And I want to challenge you this morning as it relates to the value that you're really adding in the whole scheme of things. And the mere fact that you're actually on these calls, you are in fact adding value to your life. You are adding value to your friends and family. And I really want to encourage all of you to really pack out these calls, not for my sake, but for your sake, and for those who need to hear this information, because it is so important for personal growth and development. Yesterday, we spoke a lot about the system when we were looking at the banking system. The banking system is really a very huge system. It's a combination of investors, it's a combination of borrowers, other intermediary banks. It's truly a very complex ecosystem that really supports the current financial system as it is. We are a part of a unique culture, if I would put it that way, a unique culture of cryptocurrency enthusiasts through the One Life Network that is in fact creating change. This system, the current economic system, has been around for a very long time, well over 100 years. So it has gotten very sophisticated. Do you think because you've suddenly acquired some knowledge about the banking system that the system is going to bow out and politely allow cryptocurrency to take over? Absolutely not. It is going to be a violent struggle. Yes, and you heard the word. When you read many of the cryptocurrency textbooks, right, because I am a big researcher on these things, and I spend a lot of time really going through this. And it is of paramount importance that we understand that this truly is a disruptive technology. We are taking away power from the banking system. Do you know how huge that is? If you really understand how huge this is, this call would have been maxed out at over 100. But unfortunately, many of us have not seen the value of it yet. But yet still, we will continue along our drive to educate as much persons as possible. Because we are taking down, literally, not we, but the system that created the cryptocurrency is taking down this financial system that has been around for well over a century. And we have had to deal with certain things within ourselves, because what you will find is the biggest challenge that you're going to face in this whole web of knowledge that you're going to have coming to you is yourself. Because you have been taught to believe in a particular way. And because you have been taught to believe in a particular way, it is difficult at times when you receive information to really believe it. Sometimes it's too difficult for the mind to grasp it. So you have to take it in stages. And that's what the One Academy is going to do and will be doing. I will apologize in advance because I may not always be within your comfort zone. I may not always tell you what you want to hear, but I will give you information that you need to know. And that's the purpose of One Academy. I must say to you that sometimes there are going to be videos that I will share, especially this morning. Once again, where this video is truly represents the thoughts and opinions of myself. This is a disclaimer. It does not reflect on the One Academy, Dr. Rouja, or by extension, the leadership. It is the express opinion of Larry Pereira. It is my intention that this information may possibly provide you the doorway to begin a journey, an amazing and exciting journey that possibly could open up greater levels of opportunities, greater levels of knowledge that will serve you and your family in the next 2-3 decades. For those of you who become serious students on this quest, this cryptocurrency quest, on this One Life journey, on this One Academy journey, on this Deal Shaker journey, you will never ever be the same again. And many of you have already moved within a year already from one place to the other. I most certainly have. prior to all of this, despite all my research and I've been involved heavily in gold investing and stuff, I've never heard much about cryptocurrency. And I have to thank Dr. Ruja and the One Life Network because of that knowledge of the One Academy, I have been able now to take this knowledge that has been presented in these manuals to be able to move forward. All right. So I want to just welcome you once again to be on this call this morning. Type in the box. Tell me, how are you feeling this morning? Are you feeling empowered? Are you feel alive? Are you blessed? Share a little thought with me this morning, and Maureen will probably read it out soon. Let us know how you're feeling. Let us know, are you enjoying these calls? Is it really making sense to you? Do you like the style, the format? Share with me. Tell me what's on your mind as it relates to what's going on with you. I just want to have an idea. Tell me what's going on with you. Maureen, let's start with you this morning. What's on your mind, Miss Maureen Brown?
Hi. Forgot to put my mic in the right place. Well, as I said to everyone, I'm happy to be on the call with the pioneers in cryptocurrency. I'm so happy that we have this call going on. I too have moved, and I'm kind of shocking myself, to be honest with you, but I am blessed and I'm thankful to God because I really feel that God gave me this great opportunity to know of another system, to know that we don't have to carry on in the oppression of the old and traditional system. That's my take.
Fabulous, fabulous. I see that Kes is saying that if the bankers and economic hit squads had prior information on the creation of Bitcoin, the makers would not be here today. And that is why only the pen named Satoshi Nakamoto exists as any evidence. That is so true, and hence the reason why Satoshi had to remain anonymous and anonymous up to this day to protect whoever that person or persons is. And of course, Imtiaz Mohammed said, we are truly blessed. Yes, very good morning to you, sir. We are indeed truly blessed. I'm going to share a video with you that's going to highlight some of the components of what we will be talking about in the One Academy. And as we continue our quest to understand the banking system, we are going to take this banking system apart in terms of its components, in terms of its structure, in terms of understanding what it really is. Because you really need to understand what it really is if you are to provide a solution, because we are educators and we are in fact providing solutions. So you need to understand how deep this rabbit hole goes. And this video really underscores the importance of what is really taking place. We understood yesterday through Confessions from an Economic Hitman what has been done to create imbalances in the world. But now we're going to go a little deeper as it relates to the banking system and really how it really operates. All right, so make sure your volume's up and let's take a look at this video and we'll discuss some of the components at the end of this video. It's about 13 minutes long.
Under this fractional reserve scheme, we inevitably become debt slaves to a ruling class of financial elite, not because they are better or smarter than anyone else, but because they have rigged the system to benefit themselves at the expense of most people on the planet. Catherine Austin Fitts is an expert on this issue. She was an Assistant Secretary of Housing and Urban Development under President George Bush Sr., and then an advisor to the Clinton administration.
Let's set up a game of Monopoly and you want to buy Park Place. What I can continually do is just print money, give myself more money, lower the value of your money by printing more. No matter how hardworking you are or how successful you are, I can always end up buying you for free.
So how come if you or I make up money, it's called counterfeiting? But if the banks do it, it's increasing the money supply. How did the banks get this power? This is Jekyll Island, where in 1910, representatives from the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Morgans, and other private bankers gathered secretly to draft the legislation that would create the Federal Reserve. Ed Griffin literally wrote the book on what happened at Jekyll Island.
Central banks are banking cartels which have gone into partnership with the respective governments in the countries where they operate. And they've been given monopolistic power over the creation of the nation's money supply. That's what the politicians handed to them as a gift, you might say, for the partnership. Now, in return, what did the bankers do for the politicians? They promised to create money out of nothing, now that they've got this legal power to do it anytime the government needs it.
And since 2008, we've witnessed the greatest fake money printing run in recorded history. This financial sleight of hand disguises the costs, hides who's to blame, and leaves us as debt slaves working to pay off the bill. I found it revealing that in the same year the Federal Reserve was founded, 1913, the Internal Revenue Service was also established. And income tax was then instigated so you and I would have to pay the politicians' debt plus interest to the bankers.
The problem is we have a privately owned central bank system in the United States disguised as a government-owned system. Now, if you look in the telephone book here in the Washington, D.C. area, you look up for Federal Reserve in the blue government pages, it's not there. It's in the white pages right next to Federal Express. It's a privately owned central bank.
What is the proper relationship? What should be the proper relationship between a chairman of the Fed and a president of the United States?
Well, first of all, the Federal Reserve is an independent agency, and that means basically that there is no other agency of government which can overrule actions that we take. There is no other agency of government which can overrule actions that we take.
We have a private bank that prints money on behalf of the Treasury. The Federal Reserve prints money on a debt-based system which creates scarcity. But it puts a group of insiders in a position of having access to all the data about the economy when we don't. So you have a small group of bankers who understand the data on how the money works in the economy, and it gives them the ability to print money in a way that the insiders are protected and everybody else is drained.
Catherine went on to compare a healthy economy to a vibrant torus, balanced, freely flowing, and energized throughout, in contrast to what's happening in our current economy.
What you have is a system that's very dynamic, and it's trying to optimize. But intertwined in the core of it, you have a tapeworm. The way a tapeworm works in your body is it injects a chemical into your body that makes you crave what's good for the tapeworm and bad for you. You have a parasite that's very much manipulating and engorging itself at the expense of the whole.
We live in a tapeworm economy where the financial elite are the tapeworm and they're feeding on us. And they don't like it when people blow their cover. After Catherine began exposing government corruption at the highest levels, the FBI raided her company and seized its assets. She was dragged through the courts for 10 years before being found innocent. So we've got the Federal Reserve, a privately owned corporation with a monopoly on creating money, but with no accountability, backed up by a government with a monopoly on force. The country got sold on the Fed as an institution that would help stabilize the economy and remain independent of politics. But in fact, in close to a century of existence, the Federal Reserve has done just the opposite. Since they took charge, we've been robbed through inflation, and the purchasing power of the dollar has declined more than 96%. And the wealth gap makes it clear most of the money is going to a very few. Only 16 years after the Federal Reserve was in power, America experienced the Great Depression. My research revealed that before the big crash in 1929, the elite bankers pulled their money out of the stock market. After the crash, they used that money to buy up cheap stocks and smaller failing banks for pennies on the dollar. Among the bankers who consolidated their wealth this way were the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, and Morgans. A similar scenario played out in the 2008 financial collapse, with the same bankers benefiting. In the years leading up to the collapse, the biggest banks, including Bank of America, Citigroup, and Chase, controlled by the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, and Morgans, were bundling and trading bad loans that they knew would eventually fail. It's like putting rotten oranges in a box and selling them as grade AAA. The bundlers of the debt knew it was only a matter of time before someone would open that box and see that the content was worthless, since they were the ones who packed the boxes in the first place. When the rotten oranges, what we hear about as unsound loans, derivatives, and credit default swaps, were finally discovered, everyone was impacted. People lost their homes, their jobs, their businesses, and their retirements. Meanwhile, the biggest banks who created the problem in the first place were the ones who got bailed out. Why is that? Why would the Federal Reserve give trillions to the banks, even though the majority of Americans were against bailing them out? And why not help those most in need rather than the perpetrators of the financial collapse? My research led me to believe that the same people who created the Federal Reserve, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, and the Morgans, still control it, and they use this scheme to bail themselves out at our expense.
Many of the banks created are still the most powerful lobby on Capitol Hill, and they, frankly, own the place.
I'm convinced that the near collapse of the economy in 2008 resulted from an orchestrated pump and dump scheme designed and executed by the big bankers to consolidate wealth and power. David Icke explains how he sees the Federal Reserve rigging the so-called business cycles.
Stage one, it's like throwing a fishing line out. Stage one, you put lots of money, units of exchange, into circulation. You do this by pushing interest rates down, by making lots of loans. This is the part of the cycle we call a boom. Because there's lots of units of exchange in circulation, there's lots of money changing hands. That generates lots of economic activity. That generates jobs. And as more and more money is spent, there's more demand. So companies take out more loans of fresh air money to increase their production. People get confident in their everyday lives. Hey, you know, I work for this company. They've got lots of orders. It's really going great. My job's safe. I tell you what, we can have a bigger house. Then they start to change it. What they do is they pull the fishing line in. They push interest rates up. Now, fewer people, are taking out loans, and they make the criteria for having a loan from the bank stronger anyway. And also, now, as interest rates have gone up, a larger part of people's income is going to pay back the extra interest and not being circulated in buying things. Suddenly, there's nothing like as much money in circulation, and therefore, fewer things are being bought. Companies start to go down in terms of their profits. They start to shed jobs, and they start to go out of business. People lose their jobs. They can't pay the mortgage anymore of the big house they took out in the good times. Now what the banks are doing is starting to reel the fishing line in, because as they go bankrupt, companies and individuals, the banks get the real wealth, the property, the land, the resources that they had signed to them for lending nearly figures on a screen. Now this economic cycle of fishing line out, fishing line back, lots of units in circulation, pull them in, has been going on for centuries. And what it's done, it's stolen and accumulated the real wealth of the world in the hands of the few.
At the international level, central bankers use the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund to make more money while exploiting the resources of countries they lend to, bankrupting them in the process. The central bank of central banks is the Rothschild-created Bank for International Settlements. The elite are positioning themselves to control access to virtually everything we need to survive.
No matter where you go in the world, the money is controlled by the banking system. They decide if people eat or if they don't eat. Who's a billionaire and who lives on less than $1 a day? He who controls the money controls the world, and a very few control the money.
At this point, my view of the world had been turned upside down. I was struggling with the realization that the failure and suffering of so many is actually success and fulfillment for a few. The elite central bankers who fooled the world into letting them create money. They already have vast fortunes, so what is their end game? What is their ultimate agenda?
Well, guys, this truly is an amazing video. I will be posting this video out. It's been around for a couple of years now. And of course, the movie Thrive also goes a little more in detail. Just go on to YouTube and just type in Thrive, like Thrive. You get a 2-hour video that really goes a little more into detail as it relates to all that's taking place in the world right now. The elite, the oligarchs of the world, the Rothschilds, the banking system, they all work hand in hand. I didn't make this up. This is just the way it is. Sometimes it might be heavy on your digestive system. It is just the way it is. And that's why I said last week, it may have upset a few people, but that's okay, that you are a slave. If you do not get off this plantation, you are in fact a slave. And many of us are slaves. And we get up in the morning and we hopelessly are lost in the system and we have no clue as to what to do. And that's why being on these calls are of tremendous importance. That's why we are going to help you formulate through education a possible alternative that you, if you so choose. Because at the end of the day, the only way we can take down the ignorancy of this banking system is through education. We are not lobbying any form of violence. We are not propagating any of those things, but through education. As has been rightfully said before, the pen is mightier than the sword. So it is important that you understand where the banking system is. The banking system, the wealthy, the politicians of the world are not concerned really about you. You think they are? You're paying so many taxes, let's say in Trinidad and Tobago, where we have a pitch lake. I live half an hour away from what is acclaimed to be the 7th wonder of the world. And we have more potholes in Trinidad than in other parts of the Caribbean. And I'm not just trying to make my country look bad. I'm just using that as an example. Many of us who live in Trinidad can understand. For a country that is Trinidad and Tobago, that has more physical resources than any other Caribbean country, and the level of development that we have seen for the last 50 years is pittance compared to the kind of money that this country has. It is a perfect example, even in my country, my beloved sweet Trinidad and Tobago, that we could have been so far more ahead. And it's a reason why it's a particular way. So we can ramp and rave and misbehave sometimes for political agendas, but at the end of the day, it's all about you. It's all about what you are going to do in the world. And that's why you need to become part of this community. If you're not, if you're listening it for the first time, you need to acquire an education package, guys. Why? Because you need to start learning this. This is of paramount importance. If you don't learn this, you are going to be in the Renaissance. You are going to be in the Dark Ages. Your family will be catapulted in into the dark ages and you will be left behind. There is going to be a reckoning. Mark my words, One Academites. There is going to be a rude awakening in the not too distant future. There is going to be weeping and gnashing of teeth if we do not pay attention to this knowledge, if we do not position ourselves, if we do not understand what compound interest is and what it means to us. We need to learn the real deal. We have been taught too long to believe a lie, and it has to change. It has to stop, and it must stop with you. Mahatma Gandhi said it this way: he's the only person that I know in recorded history, apart from Nelson Mandela, that actually took down the British Empire in India when the British Empire has been guilty for killing thousands and hundreds of thousands of Indians for the sake of so-called independence. You think you're independent? You think you're free? Think again. The only independence is the independence, the true independence of your mind. So I'm telling you this morning, free your mind, One Academites. You need to free your mind. All right. There's a lot of comments, and Maureen, I want to actually give you the opportunity now to really read out all the comments, because we do really respect your opinion and it must be aired. Maureen?
Thank you, Larry. Okay, so you read Kesby, so I'm going on. Sydney Drakes, he was answering your first question. I'm feeling great. Imtiaz, we're truly blessed. Then from Narish, motivated and grateful. From Impress, feeling free, feeling blessed and hopeful. King James, refreshing to see the video again, and he wanted you to post it, and you promised you would, so we look forward to that. Oprah is saying she's excited to be on these calls to receive the knowledge, and that she's never dreamed of hearing it, so she's so happy. King James, he believes fully in the concept of this call and why it started. He looks forward for it being the tool to make persons acquire more packages because they value the education. It is the main thing. Crypto is the answer to many issues. Kev Young, See Thieves in the Temple, America Under the Federal Reserve System by Andre Michael Eccleston. Kader is saying it's a great video. I watched it twice. Kev Young, he asked where to find the video. You just said it. Then Clifton, he's saying, Dr. Larry, you've been transferred into a crypto awareness agent. We're very blessed being connected with you and many others. Glad we did everything to maintain the One Academy Zoom calls, following your footsteps, sir. The boss himself, great Larry, you're already a legend. King James, I'm not sure what that emoticon means, King James. Kesby is saying, indeed and very true, Larry, the red pill. So I think I got everyone's comments read out. And before we go any further, Larry, I wanted to acknowledge all the diamonds on the call. Yes, our King James is there. Ivan and Michelle. I did see Patrice. Yes, she's there. And last but not least, we have Sana Malika from Algeria. Good day. Let me say day, because I think it's afternoon, your side of the world. And then we have so many new people that I've never seen before on the call. We have a Mohammed, a Sharmarki, Mohammed. There's a Zoomhab, Taha. Sorry for messing up your names. Sorry, colleagues. It's just me. Kader, there's a Norulding Kader. I've never seen you, Moritz Richardson, Matt, Paul Kana. Oh, there's so many of you. Kemi, I don't remember seeing you before as well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're glad to have you. We're up to 50 people. Wow, wow, wow. Thank you, Sana Malika. You did say hi. Thank you. So that's it, Larry. Back over to you, sir. It's another...
Yes, thank you so much. I actually just posted a link there for everyone to see who controls the money controls the world. That's the link posted right there. You could actually, I will be posting that link out in all the various chat rooms, so you could also get that there. So don't worry, we'll fix that at the end of this call. You know, there's so much information. This is just the beginning, just to let you know, guys, of what we're up against. And the only way in which we can actually take down the system, and I mean really take down the system, is through education. And this is really where it's at. This is the only way we can stop the nonsense that has been going on for the last 3 centuries. When we must put our power back in the hands of the people. And that's what our cryptocurrency movement is. That's what the One Academy is through the One Life Network is about. It's putting power back into your hands. You think after hearing some of this information that you're a little more zealous to go out there and share the opportunity, that why you need to really mobilize yourself, your team, to ensure that they understand, listen, this is what is going on. This is more than just buying a package, guys. It is so much more, but you still need to buy the package and make the investment in yourself. The education that you're going to get is going to pay off far greater than the money that you've spent. Just the education alone from this package is worth more than anything else. The coins that you get is the icing on the cake, literally speaking. All right, it's about capital appreciation. So at the end of the day, it's about that. So it's already 6:35 where I am, 5:35 if you're in Jamaica, and of course, closer to lunchtime if you are maybe in Algeria. I think Salam Alaikum, it's somewhere about lunchtime. Good day to you and for all your listeners wherever you are in this beautiful world. This is Larry Pereira. We're going to continue this drive. We're going to take the financial system apart, help you to understand it bit by bit, have some discussions, have some reads. I'll get the information for you. I'll get the qualified information to you. So we're not just sharing any kind of information. We're sharing information that makes sense, that is qualified, that can be checked, that has levels of credibility behind it. And that's what the One Academy is all about. It's about sharing knowledge, qualified knowledge that makes sense, that can point you in the direction. So guys, always a pleasure. The time is always so short in the morning, but nonetheless, I am indeed honored and grateful that you have taken the time out of your busy schedule to be on these calls and continue to support the movement, continue to support the One Life Network, because we are creating changes. All right, so have yourself a great day. Maureen, it's back over to you. And of course, you could continue with all the notes and comments that are being made in the chat room.
Thank you, Larry. I want to also mention Mark Nisayama. Good day to you, Mark. And then iPhone is saying to everyone, let's remember that Henry Ford also said, if you think you can or you think you can't, either way you are right. It's the thinking that makes it so. We actually went up to 54 at one point in time. Dave Brito is saying good morning to everyone. And like Kev Young is saying, like Larry says, there'll be pushback and we must be mindful. Time is of the essence. Okay, so I'm going to get 1 or 2 people to make comments now live. Okay. All right, Moritz, Richard, I'm going to unmute your mic. Richardson.
Yeah.
Hi, good morning, sir. You're unmuted. Go ahead, share. Moritz Richardson. Am I getting your name correct? Hello. Okay, I am not hearing him really. Okay, so there's Abdai Mohamud. I'm gonna unmute your mic. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. We love to hear.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead, share. We would love to hear how did the call impact you and how it's been for you since you've been in One Life. You can share on that. Okay, he's gone. You know what happened there. Imtiaz, I'm gonna unmute yours. Go ahead, Imtiaz.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's really always a pleasure to be on this call this morning and listen to you, Maureen, Larry. I just want to interject with that video. That video will really go deep into a lot of folks' DNA. When you really look at what's happening around the world, we are not cognizant of the fact that this has been place over the century.
Okay, I think something went really wrong. Sorry, Imtiaz, I'm going to get you back there shortly. Go ahead, Imtiaz. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. What I was really trying to get there is that we are so lost in being involved in the plantation, as Larry would say, that, you know, sometimes we don't take an overview or a look at what is really taking place around the world. But this morning, that video really was something, an eye-opener. And we need to really take charge of our lives, take charge of our thoughts. We only have one life, and I'm serious about this education. This education, it really impacts us. And Larry, Mr. Larry, hats off to you. I know it takes sometimes the night before to get prepared, because to prepare this presentation and your thoughts to really impact on what we learn early in the morning is very important. I want to say welcome to the rest of the world, all who are on this call. I'm glad to be part of this community, the One Academites. The One Academy call is very important. And I believe that this call on our morning is really the revolution in education that we must put in our minds every night before we go to sleep, that make it our business to get on this call. I want to welcome again everyone around the world. Hope to see you all at the Expo in Trinidad in July, and we will welcome you with open arms. Larry, wonderful job. Miss Maureen, excellent. Hats off to Mr. James, Mr. Ivan Mark, Michelle Mark, all the leaders. I want you all to know that support is always there, and we have to support one another. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And now I'm going to have Terence Graham. I'm going to unmute your mic, Terence. So I'd love to hear from you, sir.
Oh, pleasant good morning to one and all. Actually, sad to say that this is my first real full Zoom-in call, and I'm already mesmerized. Now I have pockets of information from reading the book, doing the back office reading in the One Academy. And I have somewhat of an understanding of what's taking place. But when it is put together so succinctly, I'm amazed. And I think we could use some of these videos as selling tools, because the financial awareness of people in this tongue is almost, what should I say, boy? I could say zero. And I mean, I'm not trying to put anybody down, because for me too, I did not know anything about cryptocurrency. And I have 1, 2, 3 different types of business. And I have been working the plantation very well. And now with this new information, with this new knowledge, we can. So to all of us who are there, the IMAs and whoever is listening, I am going to try to really lock in every single morning as much as I could now to pick up this information. So one, I could help myself and share, because it's in sharing this information we will help people to independent. And as you say, it's like a what is it, David and Goliath. They are not going to let us get away with this easy, but with God's help, all things are possible. Again, thanks to all who have made this possible. Larry and Maureen, all the names, I don't know them so well, but I'm locked in, and I'm blessed for this information. So those in the international, everybody just hi, love you all. One life, one coin, One Academy. Take care.
Thank you so much. And I'm going to let, where is the king? King James, could you, you're going to be the last speaker this morning. I'm trying to unmute your mic. Go ahead. King James.
Morning, everyone. Maureen, what I want to do is turn it over to Patrice. Let Patrice and Ivan Mark wrap up the call this morning. I'm really excited to see here and have all who on the call thus far. Let's continue pumping, pushing, and doing the right things. Larry, great job. And just love this whole opportunity of One Life, One Academy, and what OneCoin is representing and presenting in our lives. But I believe Patrice have something to share, and I believe Ivan Mark have a thought to expound on as well. So I want to turn it over to them.
Thank you so much, King James, for that. Patricia, I'll let you go first in that, Ivan and Nicole.
Hello. Hi,
Patrice. Go ahead.
Yes, good morning, everyone. I just want to share quickly, when I first started listening to these calls, I experienced, not just listening to the calls, but being a part of this One Life opportunity. For those who are on here and are new, I experienced a bit of confusion, analysis, paralysis, whatever you want to call it, because there's so many facets to the One Life opportunity. And we were having that discussion last night with some of the leaders, Ivan Mark and Michelle Mark and they. And just to bring things into perspective, what we are not supposed to do when we are exposed to all this information is become flustered, become violent, become arrogant, and feel like, yes, this person that I was trying to tell about this opportunity all the time, I'm going to send them this video, I'm going to give them this information, it's going to really help me to sell. We are blessed to be a part of network marketing, and it really is the greatest industry, well, to me, in the world, the greatest way to promote any opportunity, because we have support. You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. And we experienced Frank Ricketts and Jens, they're teaching on the BSM, and it's to really put some strategy and to strategize your business. And what you need to do is a timetable and the different areas. If I could just go quickly, we always teach expose the business, follow up, and work with the willing. And you also have to have time for your personal development. However, those 4 things, nowhere in there is the information that, well, Larry would have shared with us this morning, listening to those videos. Where you have to put that is in working on your business instead of just in your business. So the great income earning activities, exposing, you cannot stop exposing. And I'm not going to go into it as a training. You need to check what you're applying if you want more information on that, so you can get into one of the trainings. However, your income earning activities, you expose the opportunity, get as many people exposed to a business presentation. You follow up with those who are exposed. And when it comes to working with the willing, that will be your team members. And this information is for persons who wish to build an organization, because I know you're on here, you're feeling confused, you feel like there's just so much information. So you work with the willing, and your personal development is where you work on you, and as Larry said, freeing your mind, because you need to change the way that you are thinking. But your research, you have to pre-plan that time. You cannot spend 2 hours on listening to one of these videos and neglect exposing your business by inviting persons to the opportunity, following up with people, and of course working with your team. So you have to put these things into perspective, or else you will end up, and of course, before I continue, doing BSMs or strategies with the persons who say that they want to build the opportunity. So you have to put these things into perspective, or else you're going to end up next year, or even right October, when the company goes public, and you will look and you will say, but wait, what have I really acquired? Because yes, your package might be small. Yes, you might have started with a starter package, but the way for you to be able to get more coins is, of course, by exposing the opportunity. And when I say expose, the deal shaker falls within that. If you set aside 10 minutes a day to expose the opportunity, it could be to a regular person or a merchant. So make sure we put those things into perspective so that we don't feel all over the place. And I am here. Connect with me on WhatsApp if you feel like you really need help into putting those things into perspective. King, Michelle, Ivan, all the other leaders, Larry, we have a lot of leaders, a lot of support around. I just felt that I needed to share that to help someone who might be new on the call and feeling confused. So God bless, Maureen, have a blessed day, and everybody else that's on the call. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrice. And now Ivan and Michelle. Ivan. I'm not hearing Ivan. Ivan?
Yes. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Go ahead.
All right. Top of the morning to everyone, especially the international IMAs that are on this call. Again, we thank you so much for having the opportunity to share and help free, people from this self-inbound slavery that we are in actually. And if one really fully understands what the One Academy is and what it can do, because it can self-develop you, it can develop you while you basically do your other stuff. But as Patrice said, and she made a very, very viable and very important point, that, it has so many facets. Time management is very critical with these things. But all I want to say, because I believe everything was said in a very nice way, and, Patrice put everything more in perspective. I believe that all we have to do is really just decide that this is what we want to do. We just have to make that decision. And it comes with a level of hard work. It comes with a level of commitment. But it comes now with something that, listen, you need to do in order to benefit you and your family. That is what it comes with. It comes with that aspect. And once we decide, listen, I am tired being a slave and I want freedom, everything else will fall in place. We will find a way. We are here as leaders to help you find that way and to help hold your hand so that you would be better for it at the end of everything. All right. So all I want to say, Maureen, is that, let us exploit this to the max as leaders in the Caribbean. I believe that we have something that is great. I believe Dr. Larry Pereira and the other leaders here really add tremendous value to the international community as a whole. And we more or less, will make a change. We will. And I encourage everyone to please get more people on these calls. Get more people on these calls. It will really assist your business to grow. Because once people understand it, then now they are free to really, do all the research that is needed for them to progress. All right. So again, fantastic call, everyone. I wish you all the best today and really look forward to more One Academy meetings as we go on to October the 8th. All right. So thank you, Maureen. Thank you, King James, Patrice, and especially Dr. Larry Pereira for making the sacrifice and really doing these calls. Thank you.
Thank you, Ivan, and everyone who shared this morning. And thank all of you for being on the call. Have a great, productive One Life day. Larry, take us out with our founder. Thank you.
The One Academy is the heart of our company. Cryptocurrency is not an easy product. It's a very innovative product based on technology and based on very, very complex concepts. For us to be part of this financial revolution, to be part of cryptocurrency and of a community, we need to understand exactly what we do and what we talk about. And this is why we have the One Academy. The One Academy provides you with concepts, provides you with explanation on cryptocurrency and on the financial world. I would encourage everybody to join the courses, to do the certificates, and to understand thoroughly how to use cryptocurrency, what cryptocurrency is, and how we can change the world by using cryptocurrency. One Academy. Learn today, lead tomorrow.